Hello, welcome to my channel. We are gonna start with this piece, which is applying a bifold technique for pop-up cards. And what we are gonna do is put together all the pieces for the cake. All these pieces have been cut using vinyl because we don't want this part of the card to be too hard to fold later. So with vinyl, because we have basically layers for the cake, the ability of using vinyl give us the chance to have the cake not too thick to fold it later. I just fold these two corners also, and I'm gonna cut this section right here so it's easier to fold these other two sections that have score lines as well. And I'm gonna also make a cut here and here. And before I put the vinyl pieces, I'm gonna fold this so I already can have that folded section. And now I'm just gonna start putting layer on top of layer to put the cake together. So now that I have all the pieces for the cake, I'm just gonna put a piece of paper on top and press, so that way I make sure that all the pieces are very well attached together. And now I'm gonna fold it once again, so all the vinyl pieces have that part folded. And again, I'm making a little bit of pressure here. So now I'm gonna fold this piece that has a score line in the middle. And the whole idea of having this piece like this is because it's gonna make it stronger, as this is kind of part of the main pieces or the folding section once we have the card ready. So I'm gonna just fold this part right here, and I'm gonna glue these two sections. Okay, so now I'm just gonna fold this piece this area right again, and also each corner. The corners are gonna feel a little bit thicker, but that's okay because that's how we want them to be. And now I'm gonna attach this piece, and it's gonna be aligned to the center of my piece below. Just like this, and I'm gonna add glue to these sections right here, and I'm using also a clip so that way I make sure this piece is not gonna move when I glue the other section or the other side or corner. And I'm just gonna let it dry for a little bit because I want this piece very well attached. And on the meantime, I'm gonna start working with the happy birthday section. I also use vinyl for the word happy birthday, and I highly recommend it to do it this way because once we fold this piece, it may be harder if you are using paper, but you are very welcome to use cardstock as well. And also we want to make sure that this phrase happy birthday is very well attached to the green piece that I have here. And I also gonna enforce this to make sure it's well attached, and do it again also where for the sections that have score lines. So then I'm gonna fold the center section like this, and then the other sections like this. And then this piece is gonna fold like this. So now that this piece is dry, I can go ahead and attach it to this one. This center is gonna be glued with this part like this, and make sure the top is aligned to the score line that you will see with this with the piece that has the cake. And your reference is the score line or the folded section in the center as well. So I'm gonna wait a little bit just to make sure this piece is completely glued. And I'm just making sure the vinyl stays where it's supposed to be. So now I'm gonna fold this piece like this, and I'm gonna bring this folded sections like this also. And then once I have it like this piece is gonna be attached this way. So I'm gonna add glue on this folded section and glue it this way. And I'm gonna do the same with the other side. And then once we have it like this, we may need to wait a little bit also to let it dry, unless you're using hot glue, which will be faster. So now that these pieces are very well dry and everything with the glue, I can just unfold it, and this is the result that we are going to get from the card when we open it up. And these sections are the ones that are going to be attached to the card. I will show you in a minute how. So I'm just checking everything just to make sure everything is very well glued. And now I'm gonna fold the card, the piece that is gonna be my card, and then I'm gonna fold this once again like this, and I'm gonna place it like this, and make sure the bottom is not outside of the card, and also that the top has 1 finger distance approximately. And then close the card before you put any glue to kind of make sure it's very well located, and then add glue on the sections that have score lines for the befold piece. So I'm adding glue in one of the sides. If you are using glue, you need to wait until that part is dry before you open the card, and then I'm gonna do the same with the other side as well. Make sure this piece doesn't get moved either. So I'm pressing because I'm using glue. If you use hot glue, you may not have to do that, or may. And then while this main piece for the card is getting attached very well, I'm gonna glue this piece at for the front of the card. So if your glue is one of those that leaves a mark when you're attaching cardstock pieces, so you can definitely use adhesive foamy dots instead for this piece, and it will also add some dimension to the front of your card if you want to. And then you will get the same result at the end. At this time I'm using fairly art glue, and this one doesn't leave a mark, which is good. But yeah, you can definitely use foamy dots instead. So I'm just checking now, and my card is opening right, but I miss a couple sections right there, so I'm gonna add extra glue. And I'm gonna push again and wait a little bit. So while my card is completely drying, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the balloons together. I have 4, but you can definitely use more, or make this sizes smaller if you want. It's totally up to you. I'm using 4 and using 2 different colors to kind of combine colors, and this is how they are gonna be attached. Also, when you're doing this step, you can kind of check with your card before you glue them, so you can kind of decide where do you want them to be. Okay, so now my card is almost complete and I can go ahead and add my balloons. And you can do this, you can add balloons before you glue the happy birthday part, but I will recommend to do it until this moment because you get the exact view of how your car is gonna look uh, when you start kind of finding the right place for the balloons. And you can place them in this section that is available. Just make sure the bottom of the balloon doesn't go over too much, and if it does, then you may need to cut those pieces, otherwise they will interfere when you are folding or closing the card. So I'm using this foil cardstock, which is one of my favorites. It's the rainbow colors, and you can kind of eyeball the height of these balloons so they look even in both sides. And then I'm putting these guys a little bit higher, um, just to add a different look, you know. And then I'm just gonna close it to make sure all the pieces are folding correctly. Yeah, they are done. Okay. And my car pops up very nice. So now I'm using the leftovers of the balloons that for the piece that goes at front, and I'm gonna decorate my card. Kind of add it a better touch or a nicer touch inside of the card. The pop-up section that says happy birthday is already a nice touch, but we can make it even better adding additional touches to the card. So then I always like to use leftovers as much as I can. So I'm using these pieces, and that way I don't throw them away. And I think they make the card looks better also. Okay, so now that I added the last piece, um, my card is pretty much done. And you can see that on both left and right side we have space to write a sentiment or a message. So now this piece that I'm using right now is gonna be it's gonna be folded like this, and don't worry if the both sides don't touch because they will be covered by the square that is also cut when you are cutting the front uh, piece that has the balloons. And what we are going to do is make it to be aligned to that square section for the card. Then I'm adding some glue here in these sections, and again make sure this square is aligned. And doing this, we don't need an envelope. Also, with this square that is at the very top, you can either add something else, decorate it, or just leave it as it is. So now here we have our card. Looks very nice. I like the balloons, and I'm just gonna cut these sections right here so they are not showing up. didn't cut this very well. So here is the card ready. And as I said, you can just personalize it, add in text or a message or a happy birthday phrase. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like to receive more notifications about any tutorial that I continually add to my channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.